At his rally, he jokes about an intruder whipped up by the big Trump lie, taking a hammer to Paul Pelosi's skull and echoing the very same words used on January 6th. Where's Nancy? And he thinks that's funny. He laughed about it. What a sick... My God.
During his speech at Valley Forge last month, marking the 3rd anniversary of the January 6th insurrection, Joe Biden stopped short of saying how he truly feels about Donald Trump. But apparently in private, he doesn't pull his punches. So let's take a look at this report from Politico. The president has described Trump to longtime friends and close aides as a sick F who delights in others' misfortunes, according to 3 people who have heard the president use the profane description. According to one of the people who has spoken with the president, Biden recently said of Trump, "What an effing a-hole the guy is," which profane description, sure. Accurate? Also, yes. Now, this is also not the first evidence we've seen of Joe Biden's potty mouth, as it were. Axios reported last year that Biden has a quick triggered temper while in private. The president's admonitions, include, "God damn it, how the F don't you know this? Don't effing bull S me, get the F out of here," according to current and former Biden aides who have witnessed and been on the receiving end of such outbursts. Now, it doesn't compare to Amy Klobuchar, but definitely parading the workers a little bit. The New York Times said in 2021 that Biden's speech in private when he's frustrated with aides is often laced with profanity, but they also added that he never erupts into fits of rage the way that President Trump did. But still, every once in a while, Biden lets it slip. Interesting enough, some of his aides said that they wished he would let it slip a little bit more when talking about Trump in public. They thought it would be more relatable. I couldn't agree more. But back in 2022, Biden was also caught on a still hot mic at the end of a White House meeting. One of those instances where he let it slip with some choice words for Fox News's Peter Doocy.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Okay, I actually love this story for a couple of reasons. Now, some people might not care about Biden having these moments where he swears or whatever. I couldn't agree more with his aides that if the line for the Democratic Party moving forward is that Trump is an existential threat to democracy, which I couldn't agree more with, then I think it's completely reasonable that you would describe him in these terms, that you would use profanity when talking about the threat he poses and what a ridiculous president he was and how dangerous he is. But the Biden administration has been trying to paint themselves as, a return to civility, but I don't know. To me, maybe you guys disagree, but to me, this just seems relatable. I think that this makes him look better, at least to the public to some extent. And I think that it voices the frustrations that a lot of people are feeling. So trying to keep this under wraps, at least as it comes in reference to Trump, is silly.
The 2 of our members just took the words right out of my mouth. I just read their comments. So I'm gonna read them to you and then I'm gonna give context for it. Art Guy wrote in, "Okay, I kind of like Biden a little bit more now that I know he swears like a sailor." I totally agree. I prefer that Joe Biden 10,000 times more than the actor that is playing this genteel old grandpa. So we'll talk about that more in a second. And it's true, we do our show with our members. So tyt.com/join or hit the join button below. The next member, abortionist B Daughter Dragon, and B stands for something longer, wrote in, "Say it. If you want to say it, say it. Say it, Biden. I will say it with you. I want to say it with you." And that really exemplifies what was running through my mind. I'm like, look, brother, okay, so let's break down how much BS politics is. So they want to paint Biden as this, this old guy from Scranton is a regular Joe. He takes the train. I've heard this my entire life because he's haunted me my whole life in politics. The regular Joe takes the train from DC to Delaware. Can you believe it? And from a little Scranton, Pennsylvania. Guys, he's been in DC for the last 50, 60 years. We all have eyes. Okay, so please stop feeding me this load of crap. And then whenever you hear about Joe Biden reported in very, very few leaks like this, and I'm going to get to why it's a leak in a second, you hear him cursing and being a regular person. But then the press forgets about it and then go back to, oh, great, wonderful grandpa, gold comfortable sweater, etc. Right? It's all fake. Everything is fake, right? And then second of all, why? Why are you doing it? To the point that our other member made. Trump says everything out loud. He says awful things. He won in 2016. You barely beat him, even though half the country despises Trump. Last time around, Trump has a huge lead this time around. There's nothing wrong with saying it. Why do you believe this dumb idea? The Democrats, all the Democrats, that Republicans should rip your face off and the Democrats should be gentlemen, should wear white gloves, play by Queensberry Rose, do declare we missed badminton time. Come on, guys, just say it, God damn it, say it. What is wrong with you guys? They're stuck in the 1970s and 90s. We should be civil to one another. Oh, I do declare the rapscallion Republicans have done it again. Jesus Christ, get in the fight. Get in the fight, okay? So now understand why this story's coming out at all. Because you know the press, they're the dogs of the establishment. Corporate media and corporate politicians are 100% in bed together. So corporate media never tells you who Joe Biden is, so why are they telling you now? Because it's leaked by 3 sources close to Biden. You know what that means? That means they wanted it in the press. Why do they want it in the press? Because they want the appearance of being tough on Trump, because their donors, even Joe Scarborough, a lot of the Obama people are demanding that Biden be tough with Donald Trump. But in public, Joe Biden has so much trouble actually criticizing Republicans. It's like the most painful thing in the world to him. And he's like, MAGA bad, but I love Republicans. Oh, Mitch McConnell, where are you? Let's cut taxes again for the rich, right? So he can't get himself to say it in public, plus it's a dumb strategy. So instead they leak it to the press so that Biden looks like a tough guy without actually having to be a tough guy. I think that strategy is pathetic. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, shut up, go home, and you should have let someone else run.
Well, yeah, I think that the reality is this is a race to the bottom. Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are in rather pitiful positions. So Joe Biden really doesn't have anything to lose by doing this. And at the end of the day, if there's anybody, as you referenced, there are people in this campaign who leaked this out. If there's anybody who's willing to take positive data, then they'll see that people responded well to this. So they definitely have something to work with if they'd like to. That's up to them. That's their choice to make. But yeah, definitely that kind of goes against Biden's traditional brand. But at the same time, whenever Biden kind of steps in this direction, people embrace. And by people, I just mean like people take notice more so than when they're snoozing on him. Oh, Joe Biden did something. Oh, he stepped up. He said something. He passed something or whatever it may be. Then he gets the dark brand. And so, yeah, I think that it's a good idea for him to go down this road. But, that's obviously up to him or not. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, little switch up in their, attempts to frame Joe Biden in this way when, as I mentioned, they've been really pushing he's a return to civility. He can reach across the aisle, work with Republicans kind of person. I mean, he praised Strom Thurmond, segregationist Strom Thurmond, for his civility in the past. It is touted their good working relationship, previously. So, trying to switch up on that now is a little silly. I would like to mention that the Biden administration did not respond to comment on this article. Of course they didn't. I mean, why would they? They already got their message out. The Trump campaign absolutely did respond because they would never miss an opportunity to have a petty moment, and said this: "It's a shame that crooked Joe Biden disrespects the presidency both publicly and privately But then again, it's no surprise he disrespects the 45th president the same way he disrespects the American people with his failed policies. And I, reading this, could just feel like the vein in my forehead about to burst. I'm so angry to see a Trump campaign advisor saying that Biden is disrespecting the presidency, which I would agree, not because he swears, but maybe for the continuation of the genocide in Palestine, bombing in the Middle East, for those reasons. But coming from Trump's camp, talking about disrespecting the office of the presidency, let me not say what I was gonna say. I was gonna have a Biden moment, but unlike him, we are bound by certain rules of what I can and can't say. So
yeah, well, look. So I share your disdain for the Trump team 200%, and I'll go further as usual, and I'll say to MAGA, are you guys joking? Like when you say things like, "Oh, can you believe he disrespected the office of the president?" You know that Trump's your boy, right? Like when he talks about grabbing women by their, I have to say genitalia, but like we're really having that conversation, let alone every other dumb thing he's ever done, every terrible thing he said. Remember when he said about Megyn Kelly, she's bleeding from her eyes and from wherever? Remember when he talked about his penis on a debate stage? We're talking about disrespecting the office of the president. Get out of here. MAGA, never ever say the word respect or pretend that your guy is a gentleman or civil, because you sound more insane than you normally do. Every time you say that, the rest of us laugh and laugh. Look at these idiots pretending that Trump was a civil gentleman. I mean, of all the absurd things you've ever said, that'll take the cake. And lastly, it's similar to something that Ravana said, but again, they almost took the words from my paper right on to their comments. Eclectic Miscellanea wrote in, another one of our members, I'd much rather Biden drop an F-bomb in public than drop actual bombs in the Middle East. Thank you, yes, I don't care about the F-bomb at all. Do 2,000 of them, who cares? But actual bombs kill people. And that's exactly the problem with Biden and the Democrats. So he says, can you believe this monster, Donald Trump? We're joking around about how Paul Pelosi was hit in the head with a hammer by one of his lunatic supporters, Trump's lunatic supporters. That is true, I share his disdain and I double it for that. But then, brother, there's 27,000 dead Palestinians. 70% of them are women and children. Do you see the same kind of emotion from Joe Biden about that? Do you see him getting really upset and say, this Netanyahu, he's a sick F? No, he goes, oh, Netanyahu, do it again, kill more Palestinian babies. Oh, can you believe how impolite Donald Trump was? Yeah, no, I'm not interested in any of you monsters in Washington.
Yeah, I was just lastly laughing at the Trump camp talking about how Biden was disrespecting the presidency, because it's like, one of the funniest things about MAGA is like, they don't really have anything to say back to you unless you love you some Joe Biden, which nobody really does. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, well, Biden this, Biden that. And you'd be like, yeah, I agree with you. He definitely messed up here, messed up there. And then they just look silly. Like, they just look like a bunch of overly invested NFL fans, hockey fans, baseball fans. It really truly is a cult. But hey, Donald Trump may become president again. He may not, but he just might. So we'll have to find out. We'll have to wait and see. Despite the fact that he's a clown, this is where we are.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.